Hey, what's up guys, this is Oakley, and I'm here to give you a brief introduction to a bunch of the mods that are already available for you in Total War Attila. This is by no means exhaustive, I'm just going to give you an introduction. I'm going to link to where you can find out more about all these different mods. And the first one that I wanted to share with you is the one that addresses one of the biggest gripes I think I and other people have with Total War Attila, which is the fact that in campaign, when you upgrade your units and you progress up that technology tier, you're actually kind of, yes, unlocking new units, but you're hamstringing yourself because you then can't go ahead and recruit low tier units. It's something I think CA will fix in the future, but for the time being, download this mod and it will actually allow you to keep recruiting lower tier units and keep your unit variety, army variety. I think it's very important. It's a little hiccup that CA messed up, and I think this mod addresses it. There's also another mod that was created by Mefalamos, which does essentially the same thing. So if the first one doesn't work, go ahead and download this one. I don't think this one is quite done yet, but try both of these mods to address this minor issue, and then we'll wait for CA to address that officially. Now, another one is going to be a pack of 6 mods put together by Sebedi, and I think this one is really cool. It has a whole bunch of different little things that he tweaks. Now, the first one at the top is really good. Another thing that I think CA will eventually go ahead and fix, and that's the fact that barricades right now have very low health. And so look at this. He's gone ahead and given them 100,000 HP as opposed to the 2500 HP, and he says this takes them about 40 to 60 seconds depending on the strength of the attacking unit. So that's great. That's something that I think CA is definitely going to address, but right now this looks awesome. Definitely gives purpose to these barricades, which at the moment don't really do much. He also has little tweaks to political action cost, unlimited governors. It allows you to have all sorts of governors, no texts for the aide-de-camp, so you can sort of suppress a lot of those things. There's also one at the bottom, if you look down there, stronger destructibles, and that's not necessarily the barricades, but this is destructibles as in little walls and little tents. I think this is very cool because a lot of the time you have a cool map with a lot of details and a lot of low walls in the countryside. And it just gets steamrolled. Like even a little low wall made out of stone will just collapse after the first guy jumps over it. But now this actually increases the HP. So not only is this good for, a little bit of realism, but actually if you're going to try and do some cool machinimas, this is definitely the one for you if you want to have some nice shots of units leaping over walls without them destroying them and breaking the immersion. And the next one is going to be Dictator of Rome. He has a whole series of this. The first one is going to be one that sort of mimics what you can do with the unit, the debug cam. But this one, if you download it, it kind of does it for you, and it allows you to zoom out and zoom in really close past the restrictions that you'd see otherwise. So pretty useful. Another one is Busier Towns. So he takes what's normally in large towns of 75 civilians, and you can download a mod, various ones that get you all the way up to 200 civilians in a settlement. So for instance here, you're on the outskirts of an eastern city with not that many people, and then all of a sudden, boom, you see a lot of peasants in the countryside. So this could be pretty good for machinimas, or even if you want to have a lot of civilians running amok inside of a city settlement. So I think this is adding a little bit of interest to the battles. Another one here goes ahead and takes off a little bit of the HUD and the little details on the city, so when you can't, or on the campaign map, so it actually increases the fog of war, which I think is really cool, adds a sense of exploration. And then he also has another one that goes ahead and you see the icons here in a city that points out where everything is. Again, he kind of strips away some of those details, and so now you can see a city that's kind of unblemished and doesn't quite show you where all those capture points are. So a little bit trivial, but maybe it's something that you do like. Now another one that he has is actually pretty interesting. This one goes ahead and gets rid of all the sort of initial technology that you have here. So he goes ahead and restructures the technology tree such that you start basically at 0 with a clean slate, and you don't come with any predetermined stuff. I think that's interesting. Another one here is, again, minor, where he just goes in and he changes a couple of the UI things, basically minimizing a lot of the UI, making some different sort of looking icons. To me, it's kind of minimalist. You don't really notice the difference too much, but for instance, you can see the timer at the top, the map, and all that stuff. He's kind of shrunk down the size of everything, so it allows you to eke out a little bit more out of your screen. Another thing he did is he went ahead and unlocked 11 playable campaign factions. He does note that some of these, there is an issue that where you click on the family tree, it'll cause the game to crash out, and that's something a lot of people are running into when you try and unlock these factions. But anyways, you just got to work around that. And you can see right here, a bunch of these factions are opened up for you to play. So yeah, that's really cool. And then another one is going to be campaign effects. It reduces campaign clouds, god rays, a lot of little things to maybe improve the performance of your computer. So yeah, definitely check that out. Now the next one that I wanted to cover is obviously Radius. So Radius is going to be coming back, and they're going full force on the Radius mods. that had a lot of success in Rome 2, and now they're going to be diving into it, bringing forth a lot of the custom units so far. I think they have like 25, they say in this post, plus 20 brand new units. It's compatible with the latest patch and Longbeard's DLC. You can go ahead and even look on the Total War Center, and you could just jump in on the discussion, follow all the feedback. They're definitely making this thing just like it was in Rome 2. They're going to be pouring a lot of detail into it. You can see a ton of the details, for instance, here on all the new troops that they're bringing, particularly the assassinated forces. They just look awesome, and I think the unit variety we're seeing out of this is just very enticing, so I'm looking forward to see what they can do with it. Now, another one is actually going to be by a different guy, and I found this on Reddit, and what he's actually done is he's gone and he's taken a lot of the stats from Attila and the features, and he's back translated them into Rome 2. This is something a lot of people have seen. So obviously he says he's having issues with politics, but for the campaign he's been able to tweak a lot of things, especially in the battles. He said he's gone number for number, value for value, bring everything up to speed with Attila. That means health, weapon damage, shield values, armor, morale. So I haven't quite tested this to see how it plays out, but for those of you who are looking for the Rome 2 experience, but with Attila, this might be a way to jump in on that, and obviously he's going to be continuing to work on it, but there are going to be some limitations in the sense that we can never really totally backwork the politics into Rome 2. But at least it's getting you to where you can go and play Rome 2 with a little bit of enjoyment. Now, looking forward, what other people are looking to do, and this is pretty big, would be to bring, instead of bring Attila to Rome 2, they are going to bring Rome 2 to Attila. That will ensure that you can actually have the politics and family trees, and this is a project that is going to take a long time for them to do, but you can see it being built in the community, and this will be amazing. If they can get this done, then oh my god, this will be awesome, because everyone is saying, Attila is what Rome should have been, but I really wish I could play Attila with the Rome setting. This is what people are starting to look into, so this is a little bit of a teaser. Of course, it's not quite out yet. We're going to have to wait for this. This guy's actually out there asking for any help, so if you are good at modding, or if you want to look into this, or just support them in general, definitely go ahead and, lend a hand, because this is something I would love to see. So I'm very excited for all these mods. We're only at the start of this game, and already we're seeing a lot of stuff in the community. So hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to check out all those links and support the community in their endeavors to improve the game. Thanks so much. See you next time.